What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna be doing this look right here. So if you want to know how I got my kind of like festival, you know, mermaid vibes kind of eye look, then just keep on watching and I hope you guys enjoy the video. This is gonna be a struggle and a half to film. I need to put some lip balm on. I haven't been active in a hot minute, but I've just been a little busy, okay? My bad, sorry. Today, I'm going to be recreating a look that I did yesterday. Actually, I can probably put a picture like right here. And I'm just gonna be doing that today, but like the actual whole look. And I'm just gonna walk you through everything that I did to create this look. I really liked the eye look, so I'm just gonna do it again because I really like the way the whole makeup looked all together. Okay, so this is more of a creative look, given a lot of these as kind of like a gift for signing up and being a part of the school and stuff like that. I am going to be putting it on this plate just so that it's a lot more sanitary and I don't get my white shirt dirty. So yeah, this came with the makeup kit that I bought. The foundation I'm going to be using today also came with the kit. A lot of the products that I'm using are most likely from that kit. When I use it, I will specify that it's from the kit. Moving on, so we're gonna get started with our makeup. I already prepped my skin. I did my skincare routine in the morning. I don't really use primer. I don't really have a primer to use. Okay, so to start my makeup, this came in the kit as well. These are the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundations. I have these shades Y385 and Y235. So I'm going to be mixing this. I'm just going to do 2 pumps of the lighter foundation and then 1 pump of the darker foundation. And then I'm going to mix all of that on my little plate. And I'm actually going to take a duo fiber brush. I think that's what it's called, a duo fiber brush. This one is from ColourPop. This is the F4. But I'm just taking the foundation from the plate and just kind of like gently brushing it on and blending it ever so slightly, just so that it gives like a fuller coverage effect, just because this is such a like lightweight formula that if I use a beauty blender to pick up the product, it will soak the product into the beauty blender. I'm more using the beauty blender to blend out my foundation and I'm using the brush to apply it. Okay, so the picture that I showed you guys in the beginning, I'll put it again here. The one where it's like half of my face says like really mean words and then the other half is like my full makeup done, and then, you know, words that are very encouraging to like me and what I think of myself and all of that stuff. I put it on my Instagram because I was creating that look for my Instagram because I was watching Instant Influencer and I was really inspired by that look because both looks like I really liked Kaylin's look where she kind of put like words on her face that what people think of her and what I guess her past was, and then one side is what she knows that she is, and I really liked that concept just because it's very like a personal kind of look. And then I also like the fact that with Ashley did like one side was transparent, or like she tried to make it as like transparent as she could, and then one side was just like her bare face. I don't know, I just really liked the way both of those looks turned out. So I was like, you know what, because the point of the challenge was to see if people would recreate that look, I actually was really inspired to recreate it. So I recreated it and I tagged them, and then Kaylin ended up reposting it and my phone is literally blowing up. Very happy, very grateful that I got the opportunity to get that opportunity to like be able to share, and then she saw it and, you know, just kind of like grow my following. I know it's not always about the followers, but sometimes when you're trying to create like a following so that people could see you as an artist, that's needed. Let's just say that it's always needed. Okay, so next up is concealer. So this also came in my artist kit. It is the Makeup Forever Full Coverage Camouflage Creamy Concealer, and in the shade 01. So I'm just gonna put a little teeny tiny dot on my plate. I'm not gonna be using that much concealer. I'm also gonna use it for setting my eyes. So we're just gonna take a little bit of that and just put it in my under eye. I'm not gonna put too much. And then the places you just want to highlight. Highlighting is pretty much bringing out what you want the people to see, and contouring is what you want to hide and bring backwards, I guess is the best way to say it, and then highlighting is what helps you bring your face features that you would like more people to see forward. And then I'm just gonna put it on my eyelids as well. Gonna set my eyes because we're gonna do that next, and we're gonna bake and just add also some powder underneath the eyes so that I don't have any eyeshadow fallout, because I'm going to be using some glitter, and I'm using also the Patrick Starr's Patrick's powder. That is my favorite powder. I don't really remember if it was discontinued or not. I hope it isn't, because it's my favorite powder, like ever. And I'm just taking a BH Cosmetics brush. This is in the number 6. I also got this in a set. A lot of the brushes that I get are in the sets and are pretty much from like Morphe, ColourPop, and BH Cosmetics, because they have great brushes, a very affordable price. So we're gonna start on our eyes. So for eyes, I used a few different things from a few different palettes. We're gonna start off with our crease color. So I'm gonna be using the James Charles and Morphe palette. I'm gonna be using this shade right here. I don't know what the name is, but this one. I'm gonna take this ColourPop brush, it's E2, and it's just a kind of just like a regular fluffy brush. Gonna take a little bit of that, tap off the excess, and then kind of just blend it into my crease. I'll save the picture and I will put it right here. That was the eye look I was going for in the picture from yesterday. That was my inspiration. I don't know who the artist is. If you know who she is, and if you can let me know what her Instagram is, it was inspired by her. So I'm just gonna take a little bit, and then I'm gonna put it into the crease. And if you don't know where your crease is, when you kind of like look anywhere, actually, it's kind of just where the hollow is. Just gonna put the shade in there and a little bit over the crease, not too much though. And I'm gonna blend it out so it gives like a wing effect. And we're gonna move on. And then the next shade I'm gonna actually use is from this palette. This is the Dose of Colors I Love City combo palette. Collab, I should say, not combo, collab. And I'm gonna use Palma, the blue, and I'm just gonna put that all over my lid. I'm gonna tap it in, and that's why I kind of put like all this powder down underneath my eye, just in case there is any fallout. It would most likely be from this eyeshadow, because it has a lot of like kickback to it. To be honest, I'm not wetting my brush, not doing anything too special. I'm just picking it up with my brush and just patting it onto my eyelid. To get like a really intense like glittery eye look, you always want to pat the eyeshadow when I start out, and I want to see like where I want the eyeshadow to like lay. Like especially for glitter ones, I like to kind of like swipe it so that I know I have a guide of where I even want to tap. And because I have like rather hooded eyelid, right here is where it creases. I like to focus my glitter when I put on the eyeshadow on that area before it creases, and then once it's like densely put, densely packed and all that stuff, that's when I start to move up slightly, so that even when I'm looking at the camera, I'm looking at you, you still see the eyeshadow where my crease is. Right now I want to do kind of like a cut crease effect, just so that I could see how I want the eyeshadow to lay. So even when I look at the camera, you see it over top of my crease, just the slightest. For a long time I never used to do eyeshadow because I never saw anyone with my eye shape, and I do like to put a lot on, but we're gonna end up putting more glitter on top, but it's just gonna look a lot nicer if you do have like this type of base. I am going to take not this brush, but a fluffier brush, and I like to use this without any extra product or excess product. I kind of just like to use it to blend the two together. And then I don't know if you can tell when I close my eyes, but you can see that there's like a huge like patchiness to it, and it's gonna be a lot of like applying and then blending and then applying and then blending and then applying and then blending until you get like the look that you're looking for. Because once you apply it and then you blend, you're gonna blend away some of the shadows, and then when you apply it back on, you're gonna get that harsh line again. Okay, so that's pretty much the look that I'm going for right now. I think also I added yesterday a little bit of lighter blue to highlight the center of my lid. So I'm gonna take the James Charles palette again, and I'm gonna take this really light blue right here on the same brush that I applied the other shade, the ColourPop E3. I'm going to take the back end that I didn't use to take just a little bit, and then just add just a teeny little bit into the center. Now it's time to work on the under eye section, and for that I'm going to be using this palette. I got this in my artist kit as well. This is the Smashbox Cover Shot Ultraviolet Eye Palette. So I'm going to take this one. I'm pretty sure it's called Lavender, and I'm going to take flat brush, and I'm going to put it in like this and kind of tap apply it to my under eye area. I'm gonna leave it like that for now. I think that's good enough. And now it's time to apply the glitters, the fun part, okay? So the glitters I'm using today are all from Lemonhead. These are all the ones that I got in my little Euphoria collection. So on my lid area, I'm gonna be using Private School and Houdini. So these are what those look like. And then on my lower lash line, I'm going to be using Holly Weird. I'm going to apply first Private School. And again, I'm taking that same brush that I've been using for that blue. I'm going to take a little bit because, to be honest, with these glitters, a little goes a long way. I'm creating something similar to like a halo eye that is kind of like the outer corners, and then I'm gonna be putting on Houdini into like the middle just because it has like blue reflex in it. So I'm just gonna add just a smidge of Houdini onto the lid, and it gives like a different type of blue vibe to it, which I really like. And there we go. We are all done with the top and the eyelid section. Now it's time to move on to the lower lash line. I'm actually going to use the same brush, but I'm going to take a really small amount. So this one is called Holly Weird, and I'm going to take just a little bit on like the tip of my brush and kind of just brush it down my lash line. Okay, so we're done with the eyes for now. We're going to come back to it, but after we finish the rest of our face, because we're done with the eyeshadow, I'm going to sweep away all this powder. And I like to powder my whole face. I know I'm going to look really cakey, but I have really oily skin, so I really need to powder my face. I'm going to take this Naked Skin palette once again, and then take the contour shades, and I'm going to be using this brush from Morphe. There is no name on it, but it is this one. It's like a pointed fluffy brush, so I like to use this for the contour just because it has like that point, and then you can just kind of like point it into the contours of your face. And if you don't know where your contours are, it is where it normally starts at about your ear, right in this area, right where your, if you have like sideburns, where it ends pretty much. Or a hack that a lot of people use, or a trick that a lot of people use, is the fish face. Because I have a fatter face, you're not gonna really see. Okay, I don't know where I left off at, but because I have a fatter face, you won't be able to see the hollows of my cheeks, but you're basically supposed to do the fish face, and that is pretty much where your hollows are. Like, you're supposed to see it if you have a skinnier face than me. I'm gonna take both the contour and the bronzing powder, and I'm just gonna mix a little bit. I'm gonna do a mini contour to begin and then bring it up, and that is how I kind of like bronze contour. I know this is a huge no-no, but I'm gonna be using cream blush even though I powdered already. This is the Glossier Cloud Paint in Beam, and I'm gonna use the tiniest little dot because these cloud paints are pigmented, so probably about that much. I put a little dot right there. So that's how much I'm gonna use. I'm gonna blend it out just a little bit with a brush. I'm gonna use this little teeny tiny e.l.f. brush, kind of like tap it like that and kind of stipple it onto my cheeks. So I don't want a really intense blush. And for highlight, I'm gonna be using the Dose of Colors Desi X Katie Fuego highlighter. A lot of collabs here. I'm using a lot of collabs. I love collab palettes and collab products, and kind of just put it all over the cheekbone area. So that is it pretty much for the face. We're done with the face. Now we're going to move back to the eyes. We're going to start off with brows, and for brows I'm just going to take a spoolie. This is just like the end of a brow definer, and I'm just going to brush my eyebrows upwards, and then I'm going to take my brow wiz, and I'm going to use the brow wiz to fill in my brows. I'm going to start at the bottom and start to kind of like draw a line at the bottom to create more of a defined line underneath my eyebrow, and that is what's going to guide me to fill in the rest of my eyebrows. I'm going to fill in some sparse areas where my tail is, and then same thing on the other side. So I'm done with my brows. I'm just going to fill it in, set it with some brow gel. I'm using the Glossier Boy Brow. It's my favorite brow gel ever. Okay, so for lashes, I'm going to be putting on my, I'm pretty sure these are Ardell Wispies, but these are what they look like. And I'm going to be applying actually my mascara, my favorite mascara in the world, Glossier Lash Lick. Like, Glossy is a great addition into your makeup, but it's also like great to use on its own. Like the brow gel and the mascara. Ooh. Okay, y'all are getting all the tips and tricks today for applying makeup, especially with like a look like this. I'm gonna teach y'all how to apply eyelashes too. I know a lot of people have always asked me to help them apply eyelashes. So when you apply your eyelashes, put the glue on first, but don't put the eyelash on right away. Let the glue dry for a little bit, and in that time normally is when I actually like to do my mascara, like curl my lashes and apply mascara, and then the bottom lashes as well. And you want to just let it dry for like a few seconds. I'm gonna apply it 2 different ways. For the people that buy the eyelashes and they don't buy the ones with the little tool, or you don't have like tweezers or anything on hand, then you just have to apply it using your fingers. You can totally do that. I like to use a mirror right where my lashes would be when I'm looking down, and I kind of just apply it to the lash, close as I can to the lash line area. You want to apply the middle section first, just because that's the easiest way to get the lash even on your eye, and then adjust to your outer corner of your eye. And I feel like this was like kind of like the trick to help me really learn how to apply lashes really well. Just let it dry for a little bit, and then we're gonna blend the lashes together. Applying it with your hands starting out is a lot easier, just because when you are applying lashes for the first time, and if you end up using like a tool or some tweezers, you get really scared, your hands start to shake, and then you can actually poke your eye. So that's why I think using your fingers is the best. While we wait for the lash glue to dry for this one, I'm gonna blend my natural lashes with the fake ones with my hands. So try to go and pinch my lashes and the fake lashes together as much as I can, and that's how I kind of blend my natural lashes with the fake lashes. But now I'm going to teach you how to use this little tool, but I'm still going to use like the mirror. We're going to take our little tool now. If you don't have something like this, it normally comes when you buy kind of like a pack of lashes. It's the same thing as like tweezers, it's just a little bit wider. Yeah, I'm going to be using this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the whole kind of like lash, I'm gonna take the whole lash and put it in this little tool. I don't know what you would call it. And then I would take my mirror again and look down. Place your mirror down so that you can see your lash line, and then try to get the lash as close to the lash line as possible and place it on kind of like the middle base area. And then I would take the little pointed end to it, and I would use that kind of like tweezers and kind of like adjust the end of my lash. Same thing, I would move the little inner corner piece and adjust my inner corner, try to get it as close to the lash line as possible. Both lashes are applied, all done, all done. I'd put it like this or like this depending on which eye I'm working on, and then I'm just gonna let that dry for a few seconds, and then I'm gonna go in and kind of like blend them together by pinching them together with the little lash tool that comes with your lashes. But honestly, sometimes nothing is better than just taking your finger and then just squishing them together. It is time for the fun part. So I'm going to put a little drop of lash glue onto my plate. Only a little drop because we're gonna have to keep applying more as we go. I'm just gonna start off with that little dot right there. And I have these little glitters that I got in my artist kit as well. I'm just gonna pour a little bit on there. So these little glitters, they come with different variety. I can't really show you, but they come with like little small circles, little small hexagons, little small stars, and that is, I'm going to be using the stars to apply onto my eyebrow. I was using this yesterday. This is kind of like an angled brush. I'm just going to use this to apply the glue onto my face. So I'm going to use it, probably I'm going to start right here, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there. And I'm going to take a liner brush, or you could take another one of these angled brushes, pick up the little star, you can't even see it, but, and then just stick it onto the glue just like that. And then you want to just keep going up the brow, and then you're just going to keep going. I'm just going to make a time lapse through all of this because this is going to take a while. You'll just see, but I'll be back. Okay, my brows are done. I really like the way it looks, but now that I'm looking back, it looks a little chaotic because of the stars on my brows, and then the fact that I have blue eyeshadow, and then I have pink on the bottom. But what's done is done, and I'm gonna move on. So time for the lips now. Don't laugh at how I'm gonna apply it because I don't have a pencil sharpener, and the thing with Kylie's lip liners are that it comes out like this, so I'm gonna apply it using like that. So I kind of just like tilt down a little bit and then kind of just line my lips like that. I'm just gonna overline just a teeny tiny little slightest piece. I kind of like overline this little area at the bottom just because I have like very full lips, but they're kind of like small. I'm gonna be using a Velvet Teddy. This lip liner was the Kylie Cosmetics lip liner in Dolce K. And then my lipstick is Velvet Teddy. And it's honestly not that bad. I'm gonna fix it up just a little bit. Kind of clean up some lines, and then I'm going to be taking the Dose of Colors lip gloss in Barely There. I'm pretty sure this is also a part of the I Love Sari collection that she had with Dose of Color. I really like this gloss with like a darker lip just because it lightens the lip color ever so slightly, and it gives like a really nice pinky tone to it. Okay, so I'm gonna set my face with the Morphe Continuing Setting Mist. I have the matte one as well. I've already done a little review on it on my Instagram. It is not the greatest. I don't really like it all that much just because it isn't really like a mist. It isn't like a fine mist on your face. It's kind of just like squirting on your face and spraying on your face, and I don't really like that vibe, so I'm just gonna go back to the original and just use that instead. And honestly, I'm running out of this as well, so it's kind of spitting on me too. But that is it. I am done. Alright, so this is the completed makeup. I hope you guys enjoy. I really like the way this look actually turned out. It is really out there and really bold, especially with the star brows. But yeah, I really like the way it turned out, and it looks really nice and really cool. And a really nice festival vibe. I didn't really expect it to turn out like this when I first did it the first time yesterday, but I actually really like the way it turned out. So I decided to do it as a full look, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you soon. Bye.